Hi viewers, this is Shatabdi. Welcome to our channel, Tripping Over Food, the one-stop destination for food and travel stories. You must be wondering that I'm greeting you from a different place. I took the luxury of, creating a video at my own pace because it's a Sunday. There's no office work. So usually what happens on a Sunday is I cook a very elaborate meal because that happens to be my husband's cheat day since he's a health freak. So today what I'm bringing to you is an amazing recipe. I'm cooking a Kolkata-style Mutton Biriyani. Name looks to be complex, but trust me, if you follow the steps which I'm going to suggest to you, you can make it very easily. What makes this recipe unique is we add potatoes into this biryani. So let me take you through the steps, the 7 integral steps of making a Kolkata-style Mutton Biriyani. Step number 1, preparing the masala for the biryani. Step number 2 is frying the onion to make the barista. Step number 3 is getting the potatoes ready. Step number 4 is to marinate the mutton. It is very important to marinate the mutton for a minimum of 12 hours. More is better. I prefer marinating it for 18 hours at least. Step number 5 is to get the rice for the biryani ready. Step number 6 is to cook the mutton. Step number 7 is assembling all the ingredients together and putting the biryani on dum. That is the final step, that is cooking the biryani. What I usually do is when I'm making something which is a little complicated or a recipe which takes a long time, I split the recipe into 2 days. So what I usually do, I start the preparation a day earlier so that the day I'm making the biryani or a long recipe, it doesn't stress me out. So what I did was I had already kept the 4 steps ready. I made the biryani masala, I fried the onions for the barista, I made the potatoes ready, and I marinated the mutton the day before. So today, I am left with the remaining 3 steps, which are much simpler. Now, let me take you through the individual steps one by one. Step 1 is to make the biryani masala. You can get it from the shop, but I prefer to make it at home. I'm going to show you how to make this. There are various versions of biryani masalas. You get it ready-made. You get to buy it everywhere. But I prefer making my own masala. So if you're interested, you can also follow my process and then make your own biryani masala. We have coriander seeds or the dhania seeds. We have the cumin seeds or zira. We have cardamom. I have taken around 25 small cardamom. We have nutmeg. This is nutmeg, but we are going to use only 1/4 of the nutmeg. We have around 15 to 16 cloves. We have 2 medium-sized sticks of cinnamon. I have used a teaspoon of fennel seeds or sauf, and I have around 4 medium-sized bay leaves or tej patta. And one of the vital ingredient of this biryani masala is this white peppercorns. The next step is to dry roast the spices before we blend them together. Step 2 is making the barista or the fried onions ready. number 3 is to get the potatoes ready. Potatoes are the integral part of Kolkata Biryani or a Kolkata-style Biryani. Step number 4 is to marinate our mutton for the biryani. This is a very crucial step. So we are starting with our step 4, marinating the mutton. I have 500 grams of mutton. So let me familiarize you with the ingredients that we will require to make the marinade for marinating the mutton for our biryani. We need salt. We need chili powder. We need garlic paste. I usually make them at home. This is a paste of ginger. This is yogurt. You can use curd. This is our lovely biryani masala, which we just made. And this is the beresta or the fried onions, which we just made. And the oil. If you see, the oil is not clear because it's the same oil I'm using. The oil which I used for frying this onions for making the barista, and the oil I have used for frying the potatoes, because this oil has a lovely aroma of onion. Now let's get started. We'll make the marinade now. For this, take a bowl. We have to marinate this overnight, a minimum of 12 hours. More the marination, the better. 5th step, that is cooking the rice. So viewers, we'll start with step number 5 today because we have already completed the 4 steps the previous day. Now step number 5 is getting the rice ready or cooking the rice. I have used basmati rice. I'm using 500 grams of mutton to make the biryani, so I'm using 500 grams of rice. Like I told you, I have already soaked this rice for half an hour and I have strained them. Here, I'm going to share with you a very important tip because it helped me a lot. I had to struggle initially to make the perfect biryani because my rice would always be overcooked. So after a lot of research, I realized that if you add 2 spoons of lemon juice in the rice, it helps your rice from being overcooked. This is a very important step, and it is also said that the lemon juice helps to retain the texture and the color of the rice. We have to cook this rice until it's around 70 to 80% done. Now, it is very difficult for anyone to realize what is 70 to 80%. So I never liked that statement of cooking it until 70 to 80%. So my recommendation is, as soon as you add the rice, you have to boil it for 6 minutes. At dot 6 minutes, we'll drain out the rice from the water. So viewers, after 6 minutes, this is exactly how your rice would look like. If you see, it's cooked, the grains have become long, but if you
press them with your finger in the middle, you'll still see that the rice is yet to be done. And now we have to drain it. So we have drained the rice. We'll keep this aside until we assemble them with the mutton.
Step number 6 is getting the mutton ready. We have to cook the mutton until it's 50% cooked.
So let me show you quickly the ingredients for cooking the mutton. The biryani masala, the potatoes which we had already kept ready, and some salt if required. So once the oil is heated, I'm adding the mutton in the oil directly.
And finally, the step number 7, that is assembling the ingredients and putting the biryani on dum, that is putting the biryani for cooking. So that's a final step. So let me quickly take you through the ingredients that we would need for assembling our biryani. We have our biryani masala. We'll need a spoon of that. We'll need the barista or the fried onions. We will need a little drop of Kyora. It is also known as screw pine. This is the main ingredient which gives a unique flavor to the Kolkata biryani. We have some milk, around 100 ml of milk, some food color, yellow food color. We have to mix the yellow food color in the milk. I'm going to show you shortly. And here I have some ghee or clarified butter. We will use around 4 to 5 tablespoons of ghee. Now we need a pot where we will assemble our biryani. This is the same pot where I cooked the rice. If you see, I have put a aluminium foil in the bottom of the pot. This helps to stop the biryani from sticking to the bottom. Now we are starting the process of assembling. So the first layer which we'll add to the pot is our mutton. Just spread them out as much as possible evenly. Now we will place the potatoes. Now we will add some of the fried onions over the mutton and the potatoes. Pour the rice over our mutton and potato. So first we are going to sprinkle a little biryani masala on top of the rice, and then comes in our remaining fried onions. So what I'm going to do is, usually the original process of putting a biryani on dum is, you need to have some kneaded wheat flour which you need to put it on the rim of the vessel and then close the lid. But I'm going to make it a little simple for our friends. I'm just using an aluminium foil. This works equally well. Make sure the foil is set well so that the vapor doesn't escape. And now we are putting the lid on top of this. Now we are going to cook this at a medium flame for around 15 minutes. After that, we are going to put the flame on low and cook them for another 10 minutes. So around 25 minutes is the
cooking time or the time where the biryani needs to be put on dum. So viewers, now for the moment of truth. Let's see the state of our biryani. As soon as you open the lid, there is amazing fragrance. Just gently use a spoon to mix the biryani together. It's perfectly cooked. The rice looks perfect. The mutton is cooked to perfection. And now you can plate it. Viewers, our Kolkata-style Mutton Biriyani is ready to be served. So viewers, I hope you like this recipe. Like I tell you always, I bring to you recipes which are not very complicated, which are very simple to make. And even when the recipe is complicated, I make sure that I bring it to you in the most simplified manner. So this is one of such recipe. It sounds complicated, but like I suggested, if you have your planning right, start planning a day before. This is not at all difficult to cook. Actually, you'll enjoy the process of cooking if you plan for this complicated recipes well in advance. If you like this recipe, please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share our videos. Like I always tell you, we need your support to grow this channel. So, signing off for today. Until we meet again for another interesting recipes. Take care. Goodbye.